In our top story tonight, Fox News admits they're liars. Rupert Murdoch said in a deposition that Fox News didn't endorse Trump's election lies, but that 4 of its hosts did. Sorry, the lawyers want me to read this real quick. The Phoenix News Network does not endorse any of its own stated views. There you go. Fox's other hosts didn't directly endorse the lies, but they did keep asking questions like, should Joe Biden be thrown off a cliff by his brother like Mufasa in The Lion King? Hey, I'm not saying one way or another, I'm just asking a question. You know, I have some questions I'd like to ask too, just rhetorically or hypothetically or whatever the legal team needs it to be. Does Tucker Carlson dip his dick in peppermint schnapps? Did he get the schnapps from Jeanine Pirro? Why does Jeanine Pirro's name come up so often in questions about Tucker Carlson's dick? As a purveyor of fake news, it's my job to ask questions about insane hypotheticals and let people draw their own conclusions. Conclusions which I have led them directly to with my line of questioning. Hashtag freedom of the press. House Speaker Kevin "I'm in charge now" McCarthy stirred up outrage by handing over the security footage from January 6th exclusively to Tucker Carlson, an honest man who works for an honest organization. In the face of massive outrage, McCarthy has promised to release the footage to everyone else via his OnlyFans page, @GivesGoodSpeak, for only $20 a month. When reached for further comment, the speaker simply said, "Like and subscribe." According to former Trump officials, Donald Trump was so upset by Jimmy Kimmel's jabs at him that he directed White House staff to pressure ABC to censor Kimmel. Yeah, Jimmy, we feel ya. Happens all the time. "This Andrea Bitches Smith person is not funny. She begged me to do her show, but I won't because she's not my type. Many people say I saved their lives by going to East Palestine and eating McDonald's. McDonald's makes great food, by the way." Trump may be leading DeSantis in the polls for the next presidential election, but one person who won't be voting for him is Mike Pence. Here now is our exclusive interview with the former vice president. Now, Mike, would you vote for Trump in 2024?
I think we'll have better choices.
Oh, shit. Coming from you, that is a serious diss. That's the equivalent of a normal person saying, "Fuck that punk-ass bitch." Now, are you someone who hates Donald Trump or despises Donald Trump?
I've been both.
And do you think you'll take revenge on him for trying to get a mob to hang you by pooping in a bag and setting it on fire and then ringing his doorbell?
I'm sure we'll be clear on that by the spring, and I promise to keep you posted.
Got it. Mr. Former Vice President, remind me never to cross you. You have a very calm face and a very black heart. Republican Congressman George Santos has lied again, and at this point, we can all just assume that George Santos lies every time. There's something really refreshing about not having to wonder if a politician is lying about something. This time, George Santos lied to a judge, claiming he worked at Goldman Sachs. He might not have ever worked there, but he does do what he loves for a living, and that's lying. Oh my gosh, this just in. George Santos has actually told the truth about something. Oh, shit. Okay, be cool. Okay, looks like he tweeted, "Bullying is a problem in our country that leads to fatal consequences." Oh, shit, that's actually true. Okay, we're gonna go live with full team coverage. First up, our chief political correspondent, Jen Haston. Jen, what do you make of this?
I'm so confused. That statement is accurate and has basis in actual verifiable facts. Like, what the fuck are we even supposed to do right now?
I don't know, I'm freaking out. George Santos telling the truth is not in our employee handbook. Chief dishonesty correspondent Austin Dotson. Austin, any thoughts?
What do we do, Andrea? What the fuck do we do?
I don't know. I never thought this would happen. There were just so many lies, most of them for no reason. Why? Why is this happening to us? Oh, the Sean Hannity.
Oh, God.
Let's hop across the pond for some British news now. Looks like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been asked to vacate Frogmore Cottage so that Prince Andrew can move in. So for those of you keeping track, for the royals, it's way worse to air dirty laundry than it is to create it. The BBC has started encouraging their presenters to adopt a more trustworthy, sweaty and dirty look. After an awkward pause and a bunch of awkward glances, the head of the BBC introduced their new chief political correspondent, Boris Johnson. Britain is keeping calm and carrying on in spite of a produce shortage. Thousands of Britons have been left wondering what they will boil into oblivion as they find store shelves bare. The world is holding its breath for the UK and Netflix. May this nightmare pass before they film the next season of the Great British Baking Show. We need aubergine curry pies and we need them now! For a deeper dive on this story and other British-American foreign relations, check out the latest episode of our podcast, A Very Special Relationship, available now on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Trump has a brilliant plan to solve the war in Ukraine. You ready? You're going to love this. He said we need to, quote, get people in a room. Dude, every time Putin gets in a room with one of his enemies, they mysteriously die of poisoning or get shoved out of a fifth-story window sometime in the next 48 hours, okay? He's like that girl from The Ring, but without all the charm. Russia's foremost emotionless potato impersonator, Vladimir Putin, has awarded Steven Seagal the Order of Friendship, which totally sounds like a thing you'd do in a treehouse with a sign on it that says no girls allowed. Wikipedia was fined 2 million rubles by a Russian court who said they failed to delete misinformation about the Russian military. 2 million rubles? That's $27,000 US. No more jelly donuts in the break room for Wikipedia. That's a tough blow to absorb, eh? Elon Musk has come to the defense of syndicated racist Scott Adams. Musk took to his social media giant Twitter to call the media's response racist, because everyone knows as soon as someone calls you racist, you should immediately call them racist right back to confuse them. Twitter's legal team immediately released a statement saying, a blue check should not be considered a guarantee of self-awareness. Hashtag lay us off next. An at-home flu and COVID test combo has finally been approved by the FDA. Sadly, this news comes 6 months after the onset of flu season and 2 days after the company had to file for bankruptcy. The CEOs of Pfizer and BioNTech expressed their deepest sympathies, wiping away tears with loose Benjamins and government contracts. Did you know you can now play Pokemon Go in your sleep? Of course you can! It's a win for parents everywhere looking for a cheap and obvious thing to yell at their children. Pokemon, go the fuck to bed, Braden! And finally tonight, the US is facing an ongoing threat from the highly intelligent Canadian Super Pig. Now, I wouldn't call Trump highly intelligent or Canadian, but the rest of it tracks. That wraps up this week's Friday Fenix. Don't forget to subscribe!
Your efforts are valid, but I don't think the step up is a challenge. Your efforts are valid, but I don't think the step up is a challenge. Your efforts are valid. Come on. Your efforts are valid. Come on. Your efforts are valid, but I don't think the step up to the challenge.